Mic check 1 2 1 2. The dogs in the building. We live. Yeah. But can't be in this shit with me, man. You know how we do over here at the UUCAST. Mic check 1 2 1 2. The dogs in the building. The big dogs in the building. I got Kevina in this shit with me, man. You already know Compy in this shit with me, man. Now we do over here at the UUCAST, man. We live in effect.
We live.
How you feel? How you like the space? You like it?
I'm fucking with it. It's my first podcast.
You're doing it right.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you're doing it right the first time. Starting it off right.
Heard you.
With us over here at the UUCAST. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I understand you do modeling. You're a hairstylist. You got a YouTube channel. Let's start off with the modeling. Tell me a little about the modeling. How'd you get into that?
Well, I first started in high school. It was like a hair show at Albany High, and first year I didn't want to do it because my friend was like, "You don't even got no hair to be doing this hair show." I'm just like, "You right?" Because I was bullheaded. Mm-hmm. Next year I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. So I went to it, and we went to this big stage. I don't know if down at the Egg there was like this big stage. And I guess it was like a hair show, and then the regular model.
It was outside or inside?
It was inside.
Okay.
And so I get there, and I'm looking at all the models go through like the change, the wardrobe, and there was this one scene. It was called "Closer to My Dream." My favorite song. It's now my theme song for life, and it basically go like closer to my dreams. You know, I'm trying. And after that day, I'm like, nah, I gotta do it. So after that, I had like a lot of opportunities. My brother, he's very like, he's a network type person. Yeah. So he was just putting me onto stuff, and then from there, you know, he couldn't hold my hand the whole time. Right. Eventually, I had to like branch off, did all that.
Yeah, take it and run with it.
Right.
You gotta meet your own people. You gotta pave your own lane.
Definitely.
Meet your own path. So you started off with the show, and then what was your next step? You started like meeting photographers, or you started like.
I actually had like a second show, and I had to go get my makeup done. They sent me to go get my makeup done, and the lady, she was like, "I like you." Her name is Racinda. I call her my model mom. Mm-hmm. She's like, "I like you. I kind of want you to come back to do a photo shoot." From that day on, I went to the fashion show, and then the next day we ended up like shooting because she had a photographer. She was a makeup artist, and I started branding for her. From that day, I'm just like, yeah.
So you get a lot of like this is something I never really like thought about, but like there's makeup artists out here who want to promote their work.
Yes.
And then they'll have you come model to promote their brand.
Right. And that's honestly all it's about. It's about, you know, working with people. You got designers, they want to promote their stuff. Makeup artists, they want to promote their stuff. You got photographers, they may need models, they want to promote their stuff. So it's all about how you, I guess, engage with each person.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I got a clothing brand too. I work with a clothing brand, and we always looking for models and stuff.
Heard you.
Yeah. So now I kind of see how it would work. Right. And there's definitely a lane out here. I feel like not enough people take it seriously. I feel like the girls take it seriously, but like, all right, having a clothing brand that like really focuses on men's clothing. Right. There's like not enough guys who take it seriously.
And honestly, I feel like there's this stigma that model and guys it kind of equals that you're fruity. Yeah. And it is whack, but it's like it's way easier for a guy to get into that modeling industry in comparison to a female.
Yeah, because it's not as oversaturated.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't ever take it seriously. I'd be like, yo, you looking for some models? I'm looking for models. I have 50 girls. Like, yo, I got you. When do you want to do it? I'm like, yo, but these is men's hoodies.
We could work with it.
I'm like, yo, these men's hoodies. Yo, I need some no homo. I need some dudes to come model. But yo, I always like working with the female models because, like you said, the networking. I feel like you guys are all good at like networking because it's a must. It's a must for your industry. You got to know like studios, photographers, makeup artists, clothes people.
Right. And it's like even like for me, it started out, you know, me going to makeup artists, and then you start to learn these like talents yourself, and that kind of bridged off to my business, FSK.
Doing the hair and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like they work hand in hand.
Exactly.
And then you meet, you know, all those models you met, and they need their hair done.
Exactly.
And so now they got to come get their hair done. Yeah, that's fire. So what's like some of the because I can only imagine like it's a stressful job. Like, that's a stressful business.
Yeah.
Like doing hair.
More or less, I feel like it depends.
Like for me, I go to the barbershop. I got the dress. I'm like, yo, line me up, slap a taper on me, and get me up out here. Get me up out of here. You can't really mess it up, right? But I can only imagine for the girls, it's like they might tell you they want something, and then they're like, no, yeah.
It's like sis, but you still gotta, like work with it. I'm real flexible, so that's the cool thing about why I kind of started it.
Yeah, you're flexible and you're patient.
Right, definitely patient.
You gotta be patient. So how do people usually like contact you for that? Like, what's your biggest way of marketing?
I would say so. I actually do like these mini like videos for TikTok.
Yeah,
and I would like show me doing an install because a lot of girls they don't trust people with their hair.
Yeah.
Especially black girls because like not everybody knows how to work with black hair.
Yeah.
So I would take these little clips and put them together and it's like from start to finish within like a minute. Right. And that grabs a lot of people. I basically do that on TikTok and Facebook. I would post both videos on both platforms and I'll get views from there and it will just all add up.
Yeah.
People start coming. So
is TikTok good for like local?
Yeah. No, it's more so good for
expanding.
People all yeah. Because I also, on top of doing hair, I started selling wigs to go along with it because it's hard to get, good quality wigs for the low. Yeah. I know how it feels to be, you may not have it. You got other things to worry about, but you want to look good. Yeah. And that's one thing about me. I like making people feel good, look good, and stuff like that. So I started selling wigs, so that allows me to basically brand my wigs out to the rest of the world, the people that are not in Albany or like the capital region.
Yeah, spread your base.
Right.
Spread your base. So Facebook, I like Facebook because I feel like it's the best for like the local, like if you have a business that has to do with people locally coming through, like the studio or like a hair salon. I feel like Facebook is like by far the number one.
Definitely. I feel like,
especially in Albany.
Yeah, because you have everybody. You share it, and they see it with their friends and their family, and it's like, okay, where is she? She's in Albany. Oh, perfect,
And then you could tag them. You could do a little timeline rape, a little timeline raid, take over their timeline, tag them in it, like, now I'm on your page too. There's nothing you could do about it.
Either way, yes.
There's nothing you could do about it.
I'm here.
You're gonna support me whether you like it or not.
Right. That's exactly funny. What it is.
No, but I like Facebook. Facebook's my preferred. Facebook is my preferred social media for like business stuff.
Right.
And then like Snapchat is where I do my dirt.
Feel me? See, he know the vibe.
I do the dirt.
Gotta keep it professional on Facebook, though. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Facebook got to be super professional.
Yeah.
Because anybody can see it. You don't know who's seeing it.
That's a fact. That is a fact. I don't know.
It's gift. This is curse.
It definitely, because you see something you want to share, and it's like, this is real funny, but people might look at me this type of way, and it's
screenshot it, throw it on Snap.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Screenshot that joint, put it right on Snap.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, I can only I feel like the internet has really opened up the playing field for just like people like you who are just like starting their businesses, whereas maybe like 10 years ago it would have been a lot harder for like just for a girl to just start up a hairstylist or a wig brand. It's like,
and I try to understand like how did they do it prior to having social media? Like did they put I don't know. Honestly, the fact that we're in this like generation where it's all technology, it's hard to look back and see like what people did prior to all of this.
They used to just be word of mouth.
I don't know, because it's like a lot of people aren't really social too, so it's like you really went to people and said, yeah, I do hair, and I'm like, okay.
Nah, I think it was just more of like, I mean, this is still one of the more effective ways to sell things and to market things is like social proof. So it's like, let's say I'm selling whatever water bottles, right? Mm-hmm. And I come to you and I say, yo, I'm selling water bottles. This is the best water in the world. You might buy it from me, but if Compy comes up to you and say, yo, L's selling water bottles. They're the best water bottles in the world. You're going to be like, oh, word? He got the water bottles? Like, you know what I mean? It's social proof. So, I mean, like, things are always going to spread. Social media just makes it more effective and widens your personal reach.
Right.
But the principles of marketing still stay the same. Where social proof is like if somebody else is on Facebook talking about how good your hair is, it's way better than if you're talking on Facebook doing
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So things, the more things change, the more things stay the same.
You're right. It's just, I don't know, technological advancements.
Yeah, technology, it's the benefit. And like, you know, I always try to you know, help people promote their brands and stuff. And I see them making moves, and
I love that.
just talk a little bit about just being an entrepreneur in general. Like,
honestly, I feel like within my entrepreneurship, it's more so I see other people doing like a business, and I just hop on it to just try to share and like, you know, have them get that audience too.
Right.
And in doing that, they give that same support back. So it's like
reciprocating the energy.
Yeah, and that's all I really like. Honestly, when I use social media, I do share stuff. It is to, you know, support Black businesses because I'm all for Black businesses.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, that's my go-to.
As you should, yeah. But I meant like more about your personal experience.
Oh, me. Oh,
like just the entrepreneurship journey.
So I started this. I started this year. And me, I'm a very patient person. I'm a real nice person. You know, I try to see things from other people's perspective. So a lot of times, it seems as it's easy, but in my head, I'm stressing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to make this perfect.
Constantly.
I know, all the time. I'm like, I want to make this perfect. But you have to get to the point where you understand that not everything is going to be perfect, except for the hair. But in terms of like, you know, scheduling and like maybe this person didn't come here on time, so now I have to reschedule. And I don't want this person to think I'm being unprofessional because that's the least thing I want.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to stereotype Black businesses saying they're unprofessional, and that's not the case. It's just harder for us.
You can't do that because people try to manipulate you.
Definitely. But going through that, it's just a work in progress, honestly. You learn as you go along the way. You see things that you're not going to do again.
Yeah.
You pick up things, and in terms of the craft, you always practice your craft. I'm always on YouTube trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this better than the last time?
Improving.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the heart of entrepreneurship is adaptation and evolution. You got to constantly be growing and evolving. And every market, every industry is changing. There's new ways to do things, better ways to do things. You got to stay an open book.
Yes.
Bruce Lee, be shapeless, formless, like water.
Put it in a cup. I'm going to quote that.
It becomes a cup. Put it in a teapot. It becomes a teapot.
Y'all hear that?
Adaptation.
Y'all hear that?
You gotta flow.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta be like water.
I like that.
But yeah, I mean, you can't let people use that like stereotype Black people because it's a prison. You know what I mean? Definitely. It's a mental prison they're trying to put you in, and it's a way of them to try to manipulate you to do what they want instead of what you need to do, what you have to do at the time. It's like just because, you know, if I set a time, you know, let's say I set a time like a studio session for 9:30. I have this happen all the time, and people will call me at 9:30, and I'll be like, bro. We're gone, bro. We waited till like 9:25, bro.
Yo, and they just expect you to accommodate them.
And they're like, yo, bro, I came all the way out here. I drove all the way up. I'm like, bro.
Sorry.
I was at 9. You're supposed to be here at 9, brother.
And it's like, they don't even reach out to you. And it's like, did you really want to do it? If you really wanted to do this, you would do it. You would be here on time. What's that quote? If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're on time. I always go by that. Yeah. I'm always late.
Yeah, I try to make things, but you know, right. At the same time, you can't that's the part of being an entrepreneur. Like you became an entrepreneur to be free.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know what I mean, to be freer than and to not be a slave, to be working towards your own means.
Right.
And so, like, you know, that means you take the day off. Like, you got the freedom to take that day off. Like, if somebody's late and you decide to leave and move on with your day, you got that freedom, just like they had the freedom to be late. So, like, you know, there's a lot of things people try to do to, like, and I've noticed this, to, like, manipulate small businesses. And it's like,
definitely, as
small business owner, you have to realize that if you give into those things, it's only going to snowball and become bigger and bigger. And they're going to use that to slander you, drive you crazy. And it's not worth it.
Tell me about it. Yo.
You did this to be happy. You know what I mean?
Tell me about it. I don't know. And that's the type of person I am. I'm always the type of person where I'm just like, okay, well, maybe this time. And then this time turns into the next time. And it's like, okay, when do I put a stop to this? You know?
As early as possible.
Lesson learned.
That's the answer. As early as possible. You got to see it coming. Sometimes I see it coming. Sometimes I see it as soon as somebody even hits me up, like, yo, I'm like, all right, this is how this conversation gonna go. They're gonna ask you to do this, I'm gonna say this, they're gonna say this, and I'm gonna have to just leave them on red.
Right.
And that sometimes you gotta do that.
Do that, right.
You gotta do that, and they'll understand.
Definitely.
It'll make them respect your time and respect your business.
And that's big. That's big. That's big. Respect.
Yep, OD, because like, you know, as a small business, you gotta earn that respect too.
Definitely.
And you gotta do certain things that may seem unpleasant, but it's for the betterment of you and your business.
And that's all you gotta think about. I mean, of course, you gotta think about the clients.
Yeah.
But you gotta put yourself first.
Well, when it comes to the clients, your goal should be to go the extra mile with them, right? Definitely. Like if they're coming in and you know you doing the hair with them, you do the hair up nice, and then I don't know what the extra mile would be, and they'll spray some
like,
spray.
or maybe like give them a drink of water or something. I don't know. Rub their feet.
Yeah, they don't gotta rub their feet. That's a little more than the extra mile.
Yeah,
that's a little more than the extra mile. But you know, you could take some pictures of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have the picture set up to post them on Instagram, and now they feeling good. Give them that little shot of dopamine.
Exactly.
But, you know, that's the extra mile. You're giving yourself more work than necessary, but you're making your client feel good, and at the same time, helping your business. So, you know, that's what you should think about with your clients. That doesn't mean they can take advantage of you and they can do this and that and the third.
Right.
No. But so we got the modeling, we got the hair. You also do YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube. Pull up her YouTube channel. What type of videos you focus on?
I focus on hair videos. Yeah. I kind of put a little bit of comedy in there. You can see the Kayla Nicole ponytail tutorial, but majority it's about hair. It's just
you showing how to do hair tutorials and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. That's good that you're a free spirit though.
Yeah, I started this when I was in college.
Where'd you go?
I mean, I'm still there. I'm just doing virtual, but I go to SUNY Plattsburgh.
Oh yeah.
And if you know out there, it's just a school and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And so for me, I just had all this free time. You know, you have these clubs, but sometimes I didn't really like. I wouldn't say fit in, but I just wouldn't really like the general crowd. So I would kind of like stay to myself, which is probably the worst thing you could do in college because it's about networking in college.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only thing That's the only thing you can really get out of college.
Right. And so I'm like, okay, I have all this free time. What can I do? I'm like, let me start this YouTube channel. Now, growing up, I used to always ask my mom to do my hair a specific way, and she would just do whatever she wanted. I had a mohawk. If some of y'all know me, I had this stupid mohawk, this like little pieces of hair. It was bad, and I'm like, no, I need to learn how to do my hair myself.
She give you the mohawk.
Braided. It was horrible. And on top of that, my hair couldn't go in a ponytail. So she used to try this ponytail style, and it would just stop like right here. And I just And so I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to do hair myself. Went to YouTube, and that was my guide. You know, yeah. I follow people, and I'm just like, okay, I love their personality. I love how they're funny, and they could embrace the fact. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, like Kayla Nicole. I love her.
Yeah, don't take yourself too seriously.
Right, and so I'm like, nah, that'd be dope to really like be that influencer to the younger kids.
Yeah.
Who were in the same position I was. So I'm like, yeah, let me do that.
All right, that's what it's all about is, you know, if people inspired you and you were able to learn from them, you should take those things that you learned and pass it on as well.
And that's always the best thing. I don't know. I love that.
So your YouTube came from a place of wanting to inspire.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Inspire, and you know, there's a lot of aspiring hairstylists out there, like little girls who, and like, you know, nowadays it's more realistic than ever because there's so many places to learn from. There's TikTok, so many,
YouTube, all that.
Yeah, so many resources out there, and so many people like you out there willing to help them and spread the knowledge and put on and you know, people. I feel like personally, people are starting to see. You know what I mean? People our generation's changing the world where we're like, yo, I don't need to go and and slave. Yeah, I'm gonna go be a
9 to
slave.
5.
You're right. I was reading a book, and what did it say? It said, you always have to have a way out, because without a way out, you can't say no, and without saying no, you're a slave. And pretending to work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Deep. I like that. You're gonna have to write that down before we leave.
Write it down. Right? I'll give you the person who said it. It was Jordan Peterson.
Heard you.
But
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. He's like a psychiatrist professor, and he talks about a lot of things. I think you would like it because you're an entrepreneur. Yeah. He talks a lot about a lot of the things I talk about on this. Is like just like being willing to take risks and step out and taking responsibility and doing things that other people wouldn't do or think that they couldn't do. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And being a person that, goes into the abyss and the darkness and conquers their fears and, fights the battles that need to be fought. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you're doing as an entrepreneur. Like,
I never thought about it like that. So I feel like Superman or something.
Yeah, you literally are. You're a hero. Being an entrepreneur, it matches the hero's journey. Right. Like a hero's arc, because you have a call to adventure. That's your whatever it is that got you to start your businesses. Right. For you, it was wanting to inspire the youth. For you, it was modeling. That lady called you like, yo, you should come back and take pictures. Right. That's your call to adventure. You just go through the whole arc. You should study that. Study the hero's journey, because it really will. You can see a lot of parallels between that and being a business owner. At least I did. Yeah,
I might take my time out of the day to do that.
Yeah, just look it up. Just look up the hero's journey and
Y'all heard that? Take note.
Take note. It's important to expand on your the knowledge you have, because it broadens your perspective of the world. You know what I mean?
Right. And in college, I'm actually in college for social work. So the way I see being a social worker is always getting a point of view from everybody's perspective. Yeah. And that's my thing about people. When I feel like you're not trying to understand my perspective, but I'm trying to understand your perspective, then what are you really learning? What do you really? And I feel like that's the journey of life, to learn, to understand other people, like the way the world works, things like that. So.
Yeah, it is. It's another quote I heard was, the meaning of life is to give life meaning.
Definitely.
So, whatever that is that you think that is going to give your life meaning is what you should pursue. Social work is actually that's one of the things that I think is the most important to the future success of our society, because these are the building, the kids and the youth are the foundation of our society. They're the ones who's going to carry on all our ideals and stuff. So it's if we don't take the time out to make sure that they work out their issues and problems and stuff, those are problems just going to grow. Yep. And manifest themselves in our society.
We don't want that. We don't want that. Look where we are now.
Yeah, look where we are now. We're still paying from the mistakes from our elders and our ancestors, and we gotta. The buck has to stop somewhere.
Sometime soon. I have hope. That's why I'm in this career. I have a strong vision of what I want the future to look like, and I'm not gonna be I'm just one person. Yeah. We need a whole team of people, and it's when I'm in the social work field and I see all my classmates, I'm just we have that potential, to spread, advocate for others who may not have that that power or that voice, or may not think they have that voice, because everybody got a voice. Yeah. But yeah.
Some people are just born in different positions and have a lack of resources, and people don't really realize how much just having somebody to go home to that loves you
definitely
affects your life over time. You know what I mean? And just having that balance and that secure place. So, I always looked at social workers as essential to our society.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people have these misconceptions of what we do, and it's I was one of those people. I'm just I don't want to take people's kids away from them.
Yeah, I mean,
but then I'm okay, there's more to this. We have the micro, meso, macro, and it's you could work within, individuals, families, but you could work community, which is what I did this summer. Work with communities, work with people, try to change systems, trying to change stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the things are always going to be tainted by the system, but
Always.
You know, what it comes down to is it doing more good than bad.
Right.
That's the question you're asking. Yeah. And some of those people, quite frankly, deserve to get their kids taken away. I mean, sometimes the better answer would be to change where you put those taken away kids at. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing to focus on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is those establishments and those institutions where you the kids you took from their family, where you put them.
Right. I mean, and even the work of the social worker is never to take the child away from the family. It's generally to, you know, keep the family together. That's always our main goal, to keep the family together. But if it comes down to it, we got to.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
you got to.
So
sometimes it's for those kids' best interest. Definitely. Sometimes they're in really crummy situations, and they're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is one of the things that I think, like, if I were to run for president, that would be one of the things I would focus on the most, because I feel like that has the most impact on the future.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I feel like our society has a problem of, like, paying attention. It's like I got a bunch of, like, little cousins, and, like, I got, like, 7 siblings or 6 or 7. I got mad of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I noticed that, like, all you gotta do is just, like, pay a little attention to them. Like, you know what I mean?
That's it.
Like, they don't really care much about what you, like, buy them or do it. But if you just, like, if you just call them, like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean?
They love that, yo.
And they love it. It's like, I'm not calling you to tell you to do nothing. I'm just like, saying, yo, what's up? What
like
you doing?
My nephew, he's 3, and he's always like, can you play with me? And I'm like, no, I'm busy. And he's like, why? Why are you busy? And I'm like, okay, let me take the time out of my day to just give him, like, you know, a second of his attention, because I know how it felt, you know? Like, right.
10 minutes goes a long way.
Golly.
Yeah, I'll go down the list and just call them all, just chat for like 10, 15 minutes.
And that's dope.
Yo, what you doing? Nothing, no, da, 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 da. You know what I mean?
That's
but
dope, though.
I feel like our society, like, just like a lot of things, like, if you took the time, like, pay attention to, like, all the little things in our life, I feel like we get distracted by the glitz and the glam and the bigger things we have in our life, where it's like, you know, the little things is the building blocks of your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just, you know, pay attention to, like, you know, the small thing, like how you feel. I feel like a lot of us don't pay attention to how I know I have that problem.
I know I have that problem. I try to smoke my problems away.
Yeah.
Like, like, am I supposed to feel like this? I don't like this.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that you really got to pay attention to, because it's gonna come back regardless.
You know?
But yeah,
the things you want to avoid the most are the things you should run right into.
Definitely, especially,
you know what I mean?
Feelings.
Yeah, especially the way you feel. You gotta you gotta really sit there and you know, sit with that and realize what it is. Like, why am I feeling like this? Or, you know, what can I do to make myself feel better?
Right.
You feel me?
See, and that's the thing about mental health, especially in the Black community. For all these years, nobody knew about. Well, I mean, we knew about it. We just didn't have nothing to basically label it as.
Yeah.
Not only that, we didn't believe in it. You know, that a person could go through a mental health issue without considering them crazy. You know, now that we're in this society where we're bringing that to the forefront, and we are going to make a change about it. You know, we're going to have, like, counselors and, like, people to reach out to you. But it's a matter of, like, being able to adapt to change, if that makes sense. Because it's like, I don't know. For all these years, nobody.
I think we're in a period in, like, our development as, like, a species where, like, our hardware that we've been afforded to, it's outdated compared to the software that we're experiencing. You know what I mean? Like, we're still basically evolved to, like, live in tribes in a tree. You know what I mean? And, like, we got cell phones and computers, and we got mixer boards and podcasts where we can make sound effects. Like, you haven't evolved to be able to handle that.
Right.
We're just like, we're making it up as we go.
Right.
And we're like the first generation that's like in this exponential growth of technology. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just moving so fast. And every year there's a new iPhone.
Something different.
And there's 3 cameras. Like, you got 3 cameras on your phone. Like, what does the third camera even do?
Right. To this day, I don't know what that does.
What does it even do? You don't even know anymore. You don't even know what the technology does, but you just want it because you know it's going to assist and it's going to make your life better.
Right.
But you can't even comprehend what's going on. Like, you don't know what is making this work.
Right.
It just works.
And there's mad stuff that there's little things that contribute to make that big thing work, and it's like, wow.
You don't even know. You don't even care.
You don't.
But it's past us now, so it's like, I feel like we just have to suffer through it. Like, unfortunately, we're gonna die before we are able to adjust to the technology.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just one of those things that we're born at a great time, but it's an unlucky time.
Right.
And the people are gonna have mental illness and stuff because they're experiencing things that we've never experienced in our history.
Definitely, especially this pandemic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The pandemic. The pandemic is a big one because, I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
How'd that affect your businesses? The hair specifically, I'm more concerned about.
See, I wouldn't really say it really affected it because honestly, people already got into the swing of, you know, wearing masks and like, as a person doing hair, you have to sanitize the comb. Right. You can't just use it on anybody's head. So it's like, the
principles have been the same.
Yeah, it was just a little, maybe like providing hand sanitizers in their chairs or like just a couple more steps to take precaution and stuff.
Yeah, but people, were they cautious at first?
Some people came and they didn't really care, and I'm just like, I don't really care either. But then I'm like, I don't want my business to shut down. Yeah. One, and then two, it's like I don't want somebody to catch it or even provide like give it to me. So I'm like, okay, let me be a little bit more on the safe side. Let me you know, put some stricter rules out, like you have to come with this, you have to come with this, you know. And on top of that, my parents, I didn't want them to catch it. I don't want them to get sick. So it's like, okay, I need you to do this out of respect for me and, you know, my business, my parents, stuff like that. And people understand that. Yeah.
So it didn't really affect you too much.
Not really. Honestly, I feel like the most effect that it did have on me was a mental effect because it was more so,
you weren't able to do the things you wanted to do.
Yeah, and when I didn't get the business, I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, oh.
Bored.
Yeah, am I being productive in life or like
And you can't go see the people you usually go see or do the things you usually go do.
Right.
You gotta just sit with yourself.
Like a loser.
Yeah, but that's, you know, it's a good opportunity. I feel like, you know, they should have provided some, like, I don't know, something that like helps people cope with that. The people who aren't used to just being with themselves. That, because it's a psychedelic experience. Yeah, you know what I mean. When you just have to be forced to like meditate and just sit there. Oh my gosh. And see, my thing is like a lot of social workers, like their budget got cut. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is the perfect time for them to, you know, alternate to electronic, you know, and do their job because a lot of people are going through mental health issues. Right. I don't know if you see Law and Order, but there was this episode. I don't want to spoil it for nobody, so close your ears if anything. Spoiler alert.
But they were basically talking about a roommate. She killed her other roommate, and her excuse is basically like, this pandemic is just, it's a lot going on. I didn't know I did it, and she didn't even know that she killed the person. I'm just like, okay, it's not me going crazy. Yeah, this is like a
societal thing,
right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like I said, like it just forced people to be like with themselves. Right. A lot of people don't like themselves. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't want to be stuck with them. But that's something you gotta do. You gotta be with yourself,
right? Because at the end of the day, you're the only person you're gonna have. Like,
yeah. You want to make sure that you got your best interest in mind. Because you always don't got your best interest in mind. Facts, contrary to your belief. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that you and you are like on good terms.
Right. Like,
you're like, yo, bro, we both trying to do this, right? And you be like, I don't know. Like, well, you got to get with the script, bro, because what we doing? You know what I mean?
Facts.
But, yo, pull up her Instagram. Her Instagram and her YouTube. Okay, getting groovy. Hey, that's her Instagram. Go follow that.
Follow that. Support.
And that one's your model on Instagram, right?
Yeah, that's my model.
Follow that. And go
Don't
to her YouTube.
That YouTube. Hey.
Subscribe to that. You know the vibes. You know how we do, man.
Oh, this instrumental fire. Y'all hear this?
He made that.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Compy, man. Hey, you guys know the vibes. We out. Take care. We love you. Be safe out here. You can become everything you want to become and do anything you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. Put your left foot in front of your right. You can climb any mountain, conquer any beast, and slay any dragon. You're great. Peace. Thanks for watching this video. If you like that video, click here for more. Or click here. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and turn on notifications to be instantly notified when we drop new content.